Yeah. Well, good evening, everybody. Right now, I'm just hoping that nothing happened to my guest since I haven't heard from him. But I want to welcome you to Rhythm Flow Radio live stream right here on Facebook, YouTube, and Spreaker every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Today it was in my plans to bring you actor James Samuels, who at 28 years old had congested heart failure and had to have a heart transplant. Um, I tried to contact him today and I didn't hear from him. So I can truly say that I hope that everything is okay with him. I hope that he hasn't had any setbacks or anything because when I first ran into James back in November of 2020, at that time, he was in the hospital and he had been on a ventilator, I believe, for about maybe a month. And he was in the hospital and he knew that he wasn't leaving until he could get a heart. And he recently got out, probably the last of March, and he granted me that he would do this interview. But we all know that when you have a heart transplant or any kind of transplant, you can never tell what the outcome will be. So, like I say, I haven't heard from him yesterday. I did hear from him. I didn't hear from him today, but I did hear from him yesterday. And all I can say is I just pray and hope that everything is okay, or that before the show is over, that he will contact me and tell me what happened. Because James told me that he felt like he had another chance at life. Because, if you think about it, 28 years old with congested heart failure, that is something very, very, very serious. And his was so bad that he had to have open heart surgery and have to have a heart transplant. So I'm going to play a song and hopefully I will hear from him shortly. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Like I say, it's a very serious thing to have that kind of surgery. That kind of surgery is definitely not a joke. So I'm going to play a song and I'll come back and we'll see if we can get in touch with him. So let me find some music right quick and hopefully we'll hear from James and see what his prognosis is. Hope that everything is okay with him. I hope that there's nothing that put him back in the hospital or anything like that because I wouldn't wish that on anybody. So let me go and get some music. I tell you. Let me find us some music and I will try to see where I'll try to see where James is. I'll see if I can get in touch with him and find out what's going on with him. Let's say I just we'll find out what's going on. There. Yeah, I got your message. I'm gonna try to hold on. But I had to go on. I had to go on and start doing the show. Go ahead. Okay. Just when you get home, just log in. Okay. All right, those are the mighty sounds of Zimra on her album Love. Love is Possible. You can find that on Apple Music. Some great music. Zimra is a professional jazz artist right here in Chicago, Illinois. Hey, support her and buy her music. I did hear from the guest. He said to give him a few minutes. He had an emergency, but he is coming on to tell his story. And like I said, I look forward to this interview because he is such a young man. And I guess I've never known in my lifetime, and I'm a senior, anyone to be 28 years old or anyone that young and have congested heart failure. And I would like for him once he logs in. He said that he's on his way home right now. He had an emergency, and once he gets there, he's going to log in, and I'm going to make sure that he does a whole interview because the show probably will go a little bit past 6 o'clock. I mean, I've never known anyone that young to have congested heart failure. And, I just read up on it, and that is something that is very serious. And you would think that someone that young, who are, I mean, you just begun to live. The average person at 28 has gone to high school, probably has gone to college or trade school, or enlisted into the military or something, and they have begun their lives. At 28, the average person has graduated from college and at least has a master's degree, or I mean a bachelor's degree, and working on a master's degree. And could you imagine just roll around in your head at 28 years old and you have congested heart failure and you have to have a heart transplant? I can't imagine. I mean, just thinking about something like that, it's just, I don't know, it's just devastating to me. But once James gets on here, he's going to explain to you how all of this came about. And before he comes in, I just want to remind you that you can catch me on the first Monday behind the scenes every first Monday at 3 with In the Basement with Macklemore, hosted by none other than Bryant McLemore Smith and Harold Abrams. They have an awesome show. They cover some awesome topics. And I believe Brian is here in Chicago. Harold is in New York. And they have guests from all over the world. And every second and fourth Saturday, promptly at 5 o'clock, you can catch me with Lady Petite's live stream, hosted by Lady Petite, aka the Mojo Lady, right here on Facebook Live, YouTube, and Spreaker. And I also want to tell you about, I guess you could call it an exhibition that's coming up. I believe it's April 23rd. Let me go and get the date right. I don't want to give you the wrong date. But this exhibition is a part of Chicago history. And I had the opportunity to sit in on the interview this past Saturday, with Sherry Williams, who is the founder of the Chicago Black Historical Society. There were some other guests, but she was the main one. And the reason I can't remember her so good, because I wanted to know, they're doing a project and it's called Reimagine Aunt Jemima. And I wanted to know, how did the project come about? And I found out the project came about because Nancy Green, who is the original Aunt Jemima. It was her recipe, and it was her who gave the first package. Well, it was her recipe. It was her pancake mix. Okay, that was marketed, and they also used her on her display. And what happened was, I think she was about 83 years old, and she got killed. She lived here in Chicago, and she wasn't born here, but she came here through the Great Migration, and she lived and worked right here in Chicago. And come to find out, all of those years of using her recipe and her pictures uh, as marketing promo for the product, she was never paid royalties. But that happened to a lot of African Americans who were never paid royalties, even in the music industry. And then you come to think about a lot of inventions that were created by African Americans who never owned their own patents because a lot of times they gave up their inventions to become free. So, this was something I guess I shouldn't have been excited about, but I was. But the drilling part of the story was that Nancy Green was buried on the south side in a cemetery, and she didn't have a headstone. So Sherry Williams and Shania, I can't think of Shania's last name right now, they took on the project of getting a headstone for her. And they, even if they couldn't do this money through a fundraiser or a GoFundMe, they decided, hey, if we don't get enough money, guess what? We are we'll get the money out of our own pockets, and we're gonna put a headstone on her grave. And then they got to talking about how this came about. In order to put a headstone on Nancy Green's grave, they had to go and do a research on her family. What do we call that thing? Like a ancestry. They had to go and actually find her relatives in order to get permission to put a headstone on her grave. So this is how everything started. And once they found her relatives and they got permission, there is a beautiful headstone. I got a chance to see the headstone because I believe her name is Brenda Ritchie shared the article in a comment section. And once I opened the article up and read it, it actually showed the headstone that's going to be placed on Nancy Green's grave. And I just thought it was such a beautiful thing. So this is how this project reimagining and Jemima got started. And then, of course, Quaker Oats, back in what was that? Probably back in March or April, they took all of the products under mine was pictures like the syrup and the pancake mix and different things that had her likeness on there. They removed them from the shelf, okay? And that was a ploy because they did not want to pay her family, her living relatives royalties. So what they did, they removed her pictures off of everything and they changed the label. But not only did they change the label, they had to change the recipe because they didn't own it. The recipe actually belonged to Nancy Green. So they tell you now that they say they have a brand new product. Okay. Now I think that is so, let's say it, that is so racist that you would rather a product that has been on every family in America's table all of their lives. And I mean, I don't care what nationality or what race you are, you have eaten some Aunt Jemima pancakes and you had some of that syrup. But because you don't want to pay royalties, you'd rather destroy the product, remove her picture, and destroy that great recipe that America has known for years. So there is a project that's coming up, and that project is called Re-Imaging Aunt Jemima. And I'm trying to find the correct date. I believe it is going to be April the 23rd. And I want to give you the location because I do plan to go and check this project out. It's a free project, a free event that is open to the public. You don't have to worry about spending any money to get in. And it's like a history lesson that everybody should want to go and see some of the great, should we call them artifacts, uh, that were used in making these pancakes and cooking. So I'm trying to pull this up now so I can give you the correct information with the date. Okay, it's called Re-Imaging Aunt Jemima. It's put on by the Harsh Research Library Exhibition, and it opens April 23rd. And I want to give you the location. Uh, Maybe I have to give that to you later in the show. But it's an event that everyone should take part in. And like I say, it all started with a headstone, just a grave marker to let you know where Nancy Green uh, is buried. And like a car ran over her. That's how she died. She got hit by a car right here in Chicago. You know, she died on the South Side. And then she was one of the founders of Mount Olivet Church. So, I mean, this lady has a lot of history right here in Chicago. So, I'm going to get the address to that exhibition and later in the show, and I'm going to give it to you so that, for those of you all that would like to go, you can. Now, I want to play the song by Zimra one more time. What's going on? And then I'm going to bring on James Samuels so James can, in his own words, tell you about congested heart failure at age 28. Right in the prime of his age. I mean, like I say, at 28 years old, you're in the prime of your life. Well, you should, hey, I say the average person should have graduated from college or trade school or done something to prepare himself to make a purpose in this world. And when you get struck down by something that is so severe that changes your whole life, it can be devastating. So I'm going to play this song and then we're going to come back and bring our guest on. Hey, James, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right.
How you doing this evening?
I'm grading you.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
All right. We're going to get started in just a second.
Okay.
Okay, those are the mighty sounds of Zimra on the album Love is Possible. Available right on Apple Music. Zimra is a local professional jazz singer right here from Chicago. You can find her music on Apple Music, and the name of the album is Love is Possible. And Chicago, James Samuels, what's going on?
Everything is good. I'm blessed.
All right. Now, first, I want you to introduce yourself to everyone so they'll know who you are.
How you doing today, everybody? I'm James Samuel, um, podcast host, actor, transplant survivor. Um, just your everyday Joe.
Now, why would you say you're an everyday jerk? Come on now.
That's how I look at it.
You're more than just an everyday jerk. Listen,
I
you
said,
have a story
mm-hmm.
that the average young man, 28 years old, cannot tell, cannot share. I mean, you have something that is devastating. And I want you to start out telling them, um, just tell them, just like I encountered you on that video. And when I encountered you on that video, I had to put everything down and I had to sit and grasp and listen to what you were saying. And I just want you to explain to everybody, hey, what happened?
So this was May 5th of last year. I was feeling tired and weak and not feeling myself. I usually play basketball and do a lot of things and active, but this was during the pandemic, so there was a lot of things going on where everything was closed. This is when the pandemic first happened. So I had to go to my doctor because usually my legs, what I'm saying, I got strong legs because I work out and all that. But this time my legs was extra swollen. So when I went to the doctor, she said, you should go to the hospital right now. So I'm like, uh, for what reason? She said, you got a whole lot of fluid in your legs. So I'm like, okay, okay. So I went to the hospital and I was there for I think like 6 hours. So they came back after running blood work and a lot of tests. So at that time, when they came back with my prescription, they say you have congested heart failure. Take these water pills, and to try to get the fluid off you. So I never had congestive heart failure before. I never, nobody in my family has it, and I'm just looking like, what's going on? Like, there's no way I got it. Like these hospitals saying anything. That's what I'm thinking in my mind. I'm never coming back to this hospital again. This is a community hospital. They just saying anything just to get me out of here. But I did go to the Walgreens and get my prescription filled. So I'm taking the medicine, taking the medicine, taking the medicine. So I got sick again, and I couldn't, couldn't breathe, couldn't walk like that. It was hard for me to walk. So while in the, I'm like, I'm finna just go to the hospital again. But this time I go to a better hospital. When
Where'd
I
you
went,
go? Where'd you go?
I went to
Okay.
Trinity Hospital. So when I went to Trinity, they say, Mr. Samuel, did you know that your heart is um 10% right now? So no, I didn't know that. So I'm thinking to myself, like, they say you walking around with your heart is at 10%. So through the grace of God, I could have had a heart attack at any moment at this time. So they put a life vest. They said we got to see you home with a life vest. So, but for those people that don't know what a life vest is, it's a vest that you have to wear because you can have a heart attack at any time, and you wouldn't know. And it's blue stuff that will come out the life vest. After you wake up, you will know that you had a heart attack. So they sent me home with that and some more congested heart failure, congested heart failure medicine. So I'm thinking that things is going to get better. So I got sick, worse again, and I had to go back to Trinity. So Dr. Thompson, great black male doctor, preferred me to get a heart transplant. So he said, "Your heart is so bad. I'm sorry, you gonna have to get a, what I'm saying, a heart transplant." So I don't know anyone but the movie John Q that ever got a heart transplant. So at
Yeah.
this point, I'm just, nervous and I don't know what to do. So they referred me to Christ Hospital. They said it's the best heart transplant team in Chicago. So I said, okay, well, I trust I trust in him and have my faith into God. And I went on and did went to Christ. So when I got to Christ, they told me that as your insurance and how sick you are, mind you, I'm at 10% of my heart. We got to put you on 1B. So 1A is the highest.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to put you at 1B. You might have to stay here for a long time before your heart comes. So I put my trust into God and I said, okay, I'll stay as long as it takes. But they say, if you want to, you could get an LVAD, an official, machine that can work for your heart. I didn't want that. I wanted the real deal. So days went past
Mm-hmm.
and my heart wasn't getting
Let me
nowhere better.
let me ask you this. When I
Yes.
encountered you on the video
Mm,
when you were live,
yes.
now, were you at Trinity Hospital then?
No, Christ.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
So days went past and my heart got worse. At this point, it was at 7%. So they had to give me, I had no choice but to get the LVAD, the artificial heart.
Okay.
But they also told me that while getting the artificial heart, the complications are your right side of your heart could mess up just by the surgery and about what's going on. So I had to, go to my Lord and Savior again and tell him, please, I don't want two machines in me. So I prayed, I prayed, I prayed. I got the surgery. Everything was okay. I didn't have to get the right side. 2 weeks later again, my right side of my heart got worse. So now I had to get the right um, artificial part on my right side. So at this point, I have a left side, a right side, devices in my chest. So that's when you see me on the video.
Okay.
So I had to, I prayed to God. He said, he gave me a like the thought of just go online and tell people your story and what's going on. So that's what I did. I say another 2 weeks later. All this in October is what's going on. My heart is getting worse. So I had to get something called a balloon pump, where they put like a cast on your leg, and you cannot move your leg for nothing. If you move your leg, the machine gonna go off, and the nurses have to come in and readjust it. So at this point, I got a left side device, right side device, and something's on my leg.
Mhm.
Again, I say 3 weeks, 2 weeks come. I have to get something called an ECMO to juice all the fluid off me.
Okay.
Big machine that's in front of me. So they got to twist the machine, make sure that I'm good and everything was going on. So I got all these devices on me. But I'm going to tell you how good God is. The heart transplant come in there and they say, man, you got all these devices. Your heart is not doing well. And but the good thing about this right now, you get to move to 1A because you are sick as possible. So I went from 1B, the lowest 1B, to the top of the list. That's 1A. So now my heart, when the heart comes, I'm okay. But when there's when you having the best time of your life and God is blessing you, the devil always want to step in. So now they say, well, now you got to wait some more because you have type O blood type, not compatible to type A and B. So now
But I thought type O was a universal blood type.
no,
It's not?
no,
Oh,
the
wow.
it's the type that only can do by themselves.
Okay.
So now I gotta go back to my Lord and Savior, pray some more that my heart comes. So at this time, it's the day after Thanksgiving. After Thanksgiving comes, they rush into my room and they say we today's the best day of your life. So they give me medicine, they give me all this. I wake up 3 days later and I got my heart. Everything's okay. Got my heart. I'm thanking God, all that. I'm feeling, the recovery is no joke, but I'm feeling good and good spirit because I got a brand new 19-year-old heart. So everything's good, everything okay. But like I said, when you at your highest and God is, doing the best for you, it's always the devil is gonna hate that. So I'm doing the recovery and I get a lot of mucus in my chest because I got asthma. So I have to go back to surgery and get the trait in my neck. And if for people that don't know about the trait, you're not it's something that you're supposed to have for the rest of your life. So I go to surgery, and it had a little bit of complications going on. So I was in surgery, and I was put down for 12 days. 12 days. No eating, no nothing, none of that for 12 days. I lost 110 pounds. 12 days. I missed Christmas. I missed a lot of things. New Year's, a whole lot of things. So I wake up, and they say, "Oh, it's about time you woke up." And, they trying to get my spirits up and, get me back to where I was. But let me tell you about us, just a little joking to throw in. Tell you about us, our black people. We're crazy. We're crazy. So I was so hungry, but I'm not supposed to eat because I got nails in my neck. So the people, it was this one lady. I never forget her. She believed in me. I ain't gonna say her name because I don't want to be disclosed. But it was one lady. She believed in me. She said, "You hungry?" I said, "I can't." At this time, I can't talk. She said, "You hungry?" I shook my head. Yes. She said, "I got some Popeye's chicken. Do you think you can eat it?" I shook my head. Yes. Man, I have nails in my neck. I could have possibly killed myself. She could have lost her job. Anything. So, but God is so good. She gave me that chicken. The meat, everything went past the nails and went down to my stomach. The doctor come in there. The surgeon is a surgeon. He comes in there. He's mad. You ate some chicken. Like, you're not supposed to do that. But we saw that you eating through the tray. That's physically impossible. And because you did that, we gonna switch it to trait ties. So for people that don't know what trait ties is, it's basically just they just unloosed it a little bit. So I'm in there. I'm just having a good time. Everything good because I can eat now. So
Okay.
it's okay. Right. And I'm gonna tell you another story how black people are so crazy. So I'm not supposed to be talk. I can't talk because I still got the nails in my neck. So these two black nurses come in there. They say, um, they talking about card games, spades.
Oh
So,
yeah, baby.
but so the girl say, I know how to play spades. The other girl say, I don't know how to play spades. It made me so crazy. I said, what? You don't know how to play spades as being black? I'm not supposed to be talking at this time. I can't
Okay.
supposed to be talking. But it was so wild that I thought because she was black and she don't know how to play spades, I'm talking through the trade. So they look at me like, Mr. Sam, you're talking? What is going on? And I'm looking like I'm talking. So the surgeon comes back in. He said, "You're not supposed to be talking through the trade. How's you talking?" So I'm looking like I don't know, But so we like, okay, we might can take the trait out now.
Oh
Mind
wow.
you, it's not supposed to be taken out. So we might can take the trick out. So they took the trait out my neck, and I've been talking strong ever since then.
You
Yo,
are, listen, you are so blessed. But listen, you got to tell people how you got to having that bad heart. Because you weren't born with it.
right, no.
Now, come
So
on, tell us what kind of life you were living.
so to be honest, um, people always feel like as a young person, it's okay to do whatever you want to do, but it's not. It's really not because if you when you get 20 or get uh, if you got 20 years under your belt doing certain things, it's not. It don't matter who you are, what you're doing. It's going to mess up your body. So in my predicament, I was a real bad. food eater, real bad food eater. Restaurant food, every day, pops, all the sugar, every day. But because I'm thinking I'm young, I think I could just get away with it for 20 and 30 years, and that's not possible. So that's what really messed me up. As you can't eat McDonald's and eat, you know what I'm saying, chicken wings and mild sauce and everything like that for
Okay.
25, 30 years. Your body goes going, you messing up your temple of your body. And and if you're doing drinking for 20 or 30 years, if you're doing smoking 20 or 30 years, your body is going to mess up. And the second thing is, as a black man, sometimes we don't go to the doctor and hospital. So you have to check out your body because you don't know what pressure you putting on it. You don't know. You could have passed by somebody and they had something. They could have got to you. So at least every year, you have to get it checked out as a human being. And
So you weren't one of those that got a physical every
no,
year
not really, not really. It was like,
until you got sick. When was the last time you went to the doctor?
uh,
Oh, I think he's frozen. I think he's frozen.
I can hear you. You can't hear me.
Hopefully he'll log out and sign back in because oh, there he is. Okay. When was the last time you went to the doctor before you got sick?
Because I got asthma.
Uh
I
huh.
did like probably like 2 years before that.
2 years before that.
So I could have stopped it even earlier, but like I said, because we don't go to the doctor as we should. My heart rate was at 10% and I didn't know it.
You had to feel something though.
I did,
You
but
should have. I mean, I was reading upon it. You should. Didn't you feel tired? Did you feel weak, out of breath? Because I mean, I don't know what it's like, but I'm just, after we talked about it, I said, let me go and just look up and see some of the symptoms. Now, see, me being an older person, if I had have felt something like that, I would have went straight to the doctor to see about myself, probably to the emergency room. Know what I mean?
exactly. That's what this stereotype is. But like you just said, as an older person,
Yes.
a younger person think is I could just work it out, drink some water, or do something to as the time being to knock this off. But it's not like that. Your body tells you first, this is what's going on. But we don't think about that. I ain't
Well,
gonna
what? I want to say this. I can't say as an older person, but I guess one thing that really made me conscious of my health is because I worked for CTA, and CTA used to give us a physical every year. And it was a mindset that they put me in because
mm,
I was going to get this physical every year from them. But it was a mindset that put me in to make me concerned about my health just because I knew that they were going to give me a physical.
exactly,
And
exactly.
then I had insurance.
Mm,
Insurance so so important. And
it
I
is.
know a lot of people don't go to the doctor because they don't have insurance. But even when I was like in my 30s, you know, that insurance was one of the things that, I could just get something could just go wrong, and I wanted to go check it out.
Yeah, definitely. But let me talk about the insurance
Come on with it.
part, part in my perspective.
Okay.
So if it is right, sometimes when you don't have insurance, you can't get the benefits of some people. But it's some doctors and some nurses, if you're
Mhm.
in a bad predicament, they will help you out. They will. They will. And I'm a living proof of that. They will. You know what I'm saying? If you come in there with a mindset of I'm trying to get better, it's definitely some good people out there that would definitely make sure that you will be okay. So for anybody that's scared of the insurance part or scared of the, you know, I feel like you just put your mind and your faith into God, you'll be okay.
Okay, did you ever? And I said I wasn't going to ask you this, but I got to. When you were getting when you got sick
Mm.
and you went to the doctor when you were feeling weak and stuff, did you ever think that you had COVID? I mean, because you were right in the middle of that.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, Only good part about it is they give you COVID tests every. I say like, man, I had so many COVID tests, I can't even count. So they put your mind at ease of that
Okay.
because you get a. I'm used to the swab in the nose right now because I got probably like 20 or 30 of them
Oh wow.
because that's now the procedure every time you know what I'm saying, either get a go to the next level of rooms or anything. They you, they got to make sure that you don't have it because if you got complications or anything like that, the COVID will make it even worse.
Yeah, I was thinking about that the heart transplant and breathing and all of that. Now, how long did it take you to get your heart? I mean, especially I'm interested in this because I'm a person of color.
That's another thing. So people think that because, like you said, person of color, you can't, you know what I'm saying, you can't really get hearts and all that. And it's not really about that. It's about your personality. It's about how you view these people, how you talk to them, how you if you come in there and you got your faith into God and you treat them like they're your family, you have nothing to worry about. I got my heart 1 month after I went to the hospital.
Really? I don't know. I guess I call myself trying to follow you, and you seem like you were there for.
I was. But it was
I mean,
because
you seem like you were there for about 5 or 6 months.
I was there for yeah, I was. But it was because of complications though, not because of the, heart thing. Yeah.
Okay, now I want to ask you this. I don't know if people saw you. I thought I had a picture of it, but I think this picture is you. It's maybe this is you once you got your heart,
No,
and
that was before the heart.
this is before the heart.
I had
Okay,
to get all that to get in first place and to get my heart.
okay,
Yeah. So it was a curse and a blessing at the same time.
okay. Now listen, there's a picture of you in the video, and you have like like a wrap on your head, and you have your cap on.
Hmm.
But I blew the picture up, and I could see some tubes
Hmm.
back here, and
Hmm.
tubes look like they had blood in them.
Hmm.
Now, what was that all about?
So that's part of the LVAD that I had, the device in my heart at that point. Yeah.
Okay, where were those tubes leading to, though?
To my heart. And
Oh,
use the wrap to keep it up
okay.
for the blood flow. Yeah.
So those tubes were like helping to pump the blood.
Yeah. For,
Okay.
for the artificial heart. Yeah. So I had like 4 or 5 procedures from my heart to get yeah.
Okay, what kind of physical therapy after the heart transplant?
Oh man, that was one of the hardest parts. So I had to learn how to walk again, learn how to use forks and knives again. Um, Man, just had to reinvent my body all over again. So because I guess because I was, like at a young age, that it came back very, very fast. So I thank God for that as well. I'm not 100% yet, but I'm like at 90%. I don't need no walker or no wheelchair.
You don't need a walker.
No.
Okay. Are you driving now?
No, I had to wait, and
I
they
was
told me got to wait 2 months before driving. So
okay. I was just wondering. You
yeah.
know, some people are just hard headed.
Man, I've been through too much. I can't be hard headed no more.
Okay, so are you still in some type of therapy?
Uh, so the therapy that I have right now is mental therapy, and I got to do my workouts every single day. Because
Okay.
if you let your body sit, it's gonna put you back into, man. You got to start all over again. So I gotta move. Gotta do all this.
Okay, what kind of diet?
So
I
my
can't say diet. What type of healthy eating lifestyle have you adapted?
but when I first got out, I did dab and dash into a little something, because I've been in the hospital for 6 months, so I had to get a look curving of my chicken and all that. But um, the diet that I have is basically you have to get your protein and you have to eat your vegetables. You have to have more vegetables on your plate than you have anything else. So that's basically the diet that I'm going about right now. And dinner and breakfast is the most important parts of every day.
Okay, were you always a God fearing man? I mean, it's a saying. No, it's not a saying. It's just a non fact. And when we have turmoil in our life,
Hmm.
the first thing we do is call on Jesus.
For sure. For
Should have
sure.
been calling on him all the time.
Exactly.
So, where is your faith in your life right now?
The faith in my life right now is the strongest it ever been. Like, you cannot tell me there is no God.
Okay.
Nobody can tell me that. I'm not gonna lie to you. You know, before this trauma happened to my life, I was a God fearing man, but it wasn't as strong as it is now. I will tell anybody about my Lord and Savior. Anybody, little kids up to the oldest person in the world. So that's how I am right now, and I got no choice but to be. He
Okay.
definitely did.
So, do you think that you will become a motivational speaker for
See, with that being said, I will be a motivational speaker in my own way. So I'm not gonna be the person that gonna tell you do this and do that, but I will tell you as my own words what you should and should not do. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm not gonna be the like the person that's gonna on paper to tell you this. I'm gonna tell you, no, do not do this. Yes, do that. That's how I'm looking at life right now.
mhm.
So if you eating hot sauce, and I see you eating hot sauce, or this is just an example, and you're not supposed to be eating hot sauce, I'm gonna tell you like, hey bro, hey sus, come on now, you can't be eating that hot sauce. But if you do eat that hot sauce, try not to eat it every week. You know what I'm saying? That's how I am. That's how I am. I'm gonna tell you, you know, the way I look at it.
So, what's in the future for James Samuel?
Future is my comedy show, my
Okay.
podcast, and
Okay.
basically telling the world that God is good and do not be scared of any health problems in your life. You will get through it. That's my outcome. Yeah.
You have a daughter.
Yes. Yes. Her name is Cara. She's 2 years old. She's out there right now. 2 years old. Finna be 3 in May 3rd. Her golden birthday. I pray to God as that as well. Like I can't miss my daughter's birthday. I cannot.
I heard you on those videotapes, and you often referred to your daughter.
Got to. It's a
So
blessing in my
you seem
life.
like you were living that experience just for her. I gotta make it out of here. I gotta be with my daughter. I
Got to.
mean, you were saying that faithfully.
Hmm.
I was just wondering, what type of father are you?
Man, at this point, I'm trying to be uh, the best father I can be. The best. Whatever my daughter needs, I'm trying to, make sure I do it for her. Make sure I show her that don't have no fears. You can do whatever you put your mind to.
Okay, well, are you a graduate of Chicago State University?
No, 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 no. I was
No.
there for a couple, but
Okay.
I didn't graduate.
Okay. I saw you in a cap and gown, so I didn't know. I just saw that picture, so
No,
I was
no.
wondering. Okay. All right. So, is there anything else that we should know about James Samuels that you didn't cover or that you didn't tell us?
Um, the main thing you should know about James Samuel is I will never give up on anything I do. You will see my face, whatever, it got to do with anything.
Okay.
You gonna see me. You gonna see me. Because I'm definitely gonna make sure that, I'll make it through it all. Strong man,
Okay.
definitely.
You all have heard James Samuel in his own words. 28, diagnosed with congested heart failure, had a total heart transplant, and is here to tell you about it as we live, and we're still in a pandemic. I don't care what nobody say.
Yeah,
Our numbers in Chicago are still, they're just as crazy as ever. Instead of going on the downside, they have turned and started back up. And here is a man who made it. What you say, I didn't get shot, I didn't have COVID,
yeah,
but this was my own doings. And now you have to correct it.
yeah.
Listen, I want to thank you for taking time out and
Yeah,
coming and telling your story. Listen, I truly appreciate this.
no problem at all.
I can't wait to do some stand up with you right here,
Right, right, right.
right
I'm ready
here,
for it.
right here on Rhythm Flow Radio live
I
stream.
thank you so much.
And listen, I hope when we get ready to do this stand up, I hope we can get a couple more comedians on the screen and have a lot of fun.
Man, I hope so too.
Okay. And anytime you want to come back and share something with me or with us, you have my information. And hey, I'm just a phone call away.
I thank you so much.
I thank you. Listen, I want to thank everybody for tuning in to Rhythm Flow Radio live stream. And I am Katie Lowe. Like I say, you can catch me here every Tuesday at 5 p.m. That's Facebook Live, YouTube, and Spreaker. You can also catch me the first Monday of the month, with Brian McLemore Smith in the basement with McLemore. And every second and fourth Saturday with Lady Petite, that Mojo Lady, at 5 p.m. Hey, I want to thank you for tuning in. And like Zimmer would say, ooh, what's going on? So listen, I'm going to get out of here, and you all have a great evening.